Lars, we're here at your at the Bosch Proving Grounds in Flat Rock. What we've been experiencing this morning has been the Ward's the diesel off. Tell us a little bit about how Bosch got involved in this.
Yeah, sure, Chip. Well, what we thought is what would be a perfect way to demonstrate diesel technology in an environment where we basically simulate real-world driving conditions. And the Proving Ground allowed us exactly to do that. Initially, purposely, it was built for the vehicle dynamic control area, and several enhancements have been done. However, we use it also for other divisions. And this time, the diesel division, together with Ward's Automotive, basically decided what better to do than basically do a track comparison. And that's what we have done today. And I think we have seen some great things today on the track.
Well, I was just about to ask you, what do you think about what you've seen on the track? Interesting stuff that's been going on.
Certainly some interesting stuff. If you think about all these different comparisons, from acceleration to towing to uphill driving, and we have seen these trucks really at work, like what they would be doing under real-world driving conditions.
And obviously Bosch makes diesel and is a big player in the diesel world. This kind of event means a little bit more to you guys, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It's a big step forward for us, because we are the little elves underneath the hood, which basically provide the components which make these engines run, and at the end then also provide the benefits to the consumers, whether it's be towing capacity, what we have seen today, or more important, fuel economy, which becomes, as part of the overall scope, even more important to consumers. And also, if you look at it from a total cost of owner perspective, which these people which have these working trucks are really into.
So this was the first official one. I guess there was one earlier that was kind of a combination. This first diesel one. Would you like to see more of these events go forward?
Certainly, if we have the opportunity, it's a great place of utilizing the Proving Ground and at the same time demonstrating what the technology can do. And for us as a supplier, it's a milestone, because we also have the opportunity, together with our OEMs, together with media, to basically show what the components can do.
The diesel off that you guys are holding, tell us the genesis of it. How did it start? What's the idea behind it?
Well, it started because, Ward's has been doing the 10 best engines for 16 years, but we've never really had a good mechanism to pick a heavy-duty diesel. It's true that all three automakers, their heavy-duty diesels have made the list at some point over the last 10 years. But that was through our conventional 10 best engines evaluations of daily driving cycles. We didn't hook up trailers to the vehicles, so towing a vehicle that makes 600-700 foot-pounds of torque and not really trailering anything is kind of pointless. It's hard to really get the it's hard to appreciate the power. So that's why I was here at the Bosch track last year, and I was talking to Brad Warner. He's the diesel guy in marketing, and next thing you know, we were saying, well, geez, since Bosch does the injectors and does a lot of the the engine mapping, the electronic controls on the engines for all three, we could bring all three trucks out here, run them with trailers, and either way Bosch comes out a winner, because one of their vehicles is going to be picked a winner. We are going to pick a winner out of these three that we were driving all day. One of them is going to be named a winner, and they're going to find out on August 9th who the winner is, and then we're going to announce it on September 20th to the public.
What's the criteria? I mean, without going into every nook and cranny of the criteria, because I'm sure it's extensive.
Well,
but what in the top three, what are the criteria?
The key things, we don't do 0 to 60 timed acceleration runs in 10 best engines. Here, yes, we're doing it. We're on a test track. We've got trailers hooked up. They're all the same weight, so we're using a speed gun. So, we borrowed it from Motor Trend, and we're using that speed gun to get accurate 0 to 30 and 0 to 60 acceleration numbers with trailer, without trailer. So I mean, that's some hard data that we can factor into our decision in terms of which one makes it to 30, which one makes it to 60 fastest. We also put the vehicles on a 20% grade. So take the vehicle straight up 20%, do a quick U-turn and come down 20%, and so you get to experience the engine braking on the downward slope. You get to hear, in some cases while you're going uphill, you get to hear the wheels break free. So I mean, you know, you're towing 10,000 pounds in a 5,000 pound truck, and you're still breaking the wheels free, which, you know, tells you there's a lot of power here, you know, that's going through the axles. So it's that, you know, it's the uphill, it's the track 0 to 30, 0 to 60. It's also just our own kind of seat of the pants feel. How much sound is it making? I'm using a microphone inside to, you know, record decibels, and you know, we can listen to it later when we're having our meeting, and we can switch back and forth between this is the Super Duty, this is the Ram, this is the GMC Sierra. The last component of the test is going out on the road, you know, the open road. So we're going straight down Telegraph to 275, up north 275 to Will Carleton Road. We just do it, just basically a 10-mile loop, and the drivers, you know, there are 7 editors here who are going to pick the winner, and we're all just kind of rotating vehicle to vehicle so that we all get some time in each vehicle. So that's how we're picking them.
One last question, unless I come up with another question. So we know what you guys get out of it. You publish a story on this, you put it on the website, and a lot of people who are really into this kind of minutia of this kind of truck, motor, engine. They eat this stuff up.
Yeah.
But the average guy or woman who uses a truck like this on daily, what do they get out of this? What does it mean for them?
Yeah, you're right. To some people, a truck with this much power means absolutely nothing. But there's a huge segment of the buying public out there that wants a truck like this to pull their boat. You know, anything bigger than, I think, 25 feet in terms of a boat length needs a truck like this. You know, if you have a horse trailer, you know, anybody who has a horse trailer, anybody who raises horses buys trucks like this. Anybody who has a camper bigger than a pop-up wants something like this. Think of all the vehicles, all the trailers you see going north on I-75, you know, in the summertime. You know, there are thousands of people in Michigan alone who crave this type of vehicle, and, you know, they want to know which one is the quietest, which one is the most powerful. And so it's, you know, it's fairly important to, you know, to a large segment of the truck buying population as to, you know, which one we pick. And I mean, I can tell you all 3 of them are pretty darn good. The numbers look pretty good. You can look at the specs and you can see that the Chevy, or, you know, that the GM engine makes the most in terms of torque. Ford isn't very far behind, but they're all just remarkably quiet, and they're all pretty darn strong. So yeah, I think it does mean a lot to certain buyers in the, you know, in the segment for trucks.
Drew, we were talking about Tom about the genesis of this, but what is I mean, you guys do best engines, you do best interiors. What is a
Get out of the way!
Brad, move! What does a test like this mean to you guys at Wards?
Well, it kind of takes us to another level. With these engines are so closely benchmarked against each other. We knew that we couldn't do one of our standard tests of just some standard empirical and subjective analysis. We needed to do a little bit more empirical testing, and definitely we had to do the serious towing, and we needed to do it in a closed track setting that was safe. And but we needed to do some more serious detailed testing than we normally do, because there are so many other technical factors that differentiate these engines that aren't as big a deal with consumers.
I probably should have asked this of Tom, but since you're here, I'm going to ask it. How do you know, when you get a Chrysler, you get a Ford, you get a GM, you get a Bosch? I mean, all big players in this industry. Do they jump at this chance? Do they love to get in there and compete like this?
Yeah, they were very eager to really show off their products and compete. And we had Bosch was happy to host us. And I think you can see by the turnout of all the teams from each automaker that came out to pitch their products and to see them compete. We were really impressed with the response from everyone to our idea.
What do you expect is going to come of this today? Not necessarily who you think is going to win, but what's the bottom line of what you guys are going to end up coming back to coming back to the magazine or the website with, or the competitors?
Well, what we do with, I mean, we do analyze a lot of minutia with these vehicles, and then we kind of do the work of boiling down the minutia into some key points and differentiation factors between the vehicles. So you're going to be, even though we are going to have a winner, we're going to also point out the, the strong points of each vehicle. And so even the average consumer now is going to be able to look at the Chrysler or the Ford or the GM and say, okay, these are the weak points, these are the strong points, and maybe for my needs, maybe I will make a different decision, but at least I'll have a clear sort of snapshot of each vehicle and engine and capabilities.
Is this the kind of thing you would like to see go on year after year? Does it have that kind of, do you think that a diesel off has that kind of staying power?
Well, it doesn't. In this case, these engines don't change that frequently. Where it does with the 10 best engines, there's lots of new engines every year and new upgrades. Where these engines have a much longer shelf life, and they come in all kind of a wave of in 5 or 10 years, where each one is dramatically improved. And so we're probably not going to do this every year. It'll probably be every few years as the major upgrades come into play at with each engine.
It means a lot. It's significant for us to be invited to these kinds of things, because our customers are incredibly astute about the capability of their trucks and the engines, and they're not just about the horsepower and torque numbers, they're also about the performance numbers. So this gives us the opportunity to show in head-to-head competition with our fellow competitors how we perform, and hopefully come out on top. It's important in terms of validating all of our product development efforts, and gives us an opportunity to get our message out. And at Ford, it's all about the product, and our current resurgence is due to product, and the 2011 Super Duty is a perfect example of that.
Plus, it probably doesn't hurt to have your fellow competitors here, and probably a little good-natured jabbing back and forth about who's better, and then Ward's overseeing the whole thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's there's definitely competitiveness, but there's camaraderie. I met my counterpart a couple of weeks ago at one of these events, and it was neat on a personal level just to interact a little bit with him.
So do these competitions in the end mean anything for your customer, though? Because your customer is pretty loyal base that you've got. Does it mean something for those that may be on the edge, or how do you view it?
I think it means something for both. I think it means something for the loyalist in that it validates their loyalty and seeing their vehicle perform well, whether it wins everything or not, because you don't win everything, is good. But there are a number of people, our research tells us a number of people that can be swayed if you have the right product. And in the 2011 Super Duty, we've got improved horsepower, torque, and fuel economy, NVH, ride. It's really a well-balanced product, and we're excited about it.
And do you think overall the criteria that they're using to judge the three against each other, do you like the criteria? Do you like what they're doing? And do you think it's fair?
Yes, I do. The criteria these trucks are purpose-built, and it's about their capability. So towing with them and towing on grades and evaluating in that sense is very appropriate. And they're trying to do their best to make it objective and use data, and that's always good. That's how we develop our trucks.
So we're going to hold this until actually the results are revealed to the public and to you guys. So any guesses to who comes out on top?
Well, I'm biased. I like our Super Duty. The other products are credible products, but we hit a home run with this one.